It's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me at benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcast because People of Distinction is a nationally and internationally syndicated show because of listeners like you. Our shows are available across all major podcast distributors as well as YouTube. And if you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. We appreciate the support. Continue to like and follow and sit back and strap in because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Mary Kathy Gray. We're going to be discussing her amazing book, The Call of the Mourning Doves, Meeting God in Reality. Now, it's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. But people, if you want to gather everything that Mary has in store, well, listen to me when I tell you, all right? You got to head on over to her personal site. And that's MaryKathyGrayBooks.com. There, you're going to find more information on her, more information on this fantastic book. You're going to find hyperlinks set up to take you to the purchasing pages. But people, get this, all right? Mary's not done. She just started. She just scratched the surface, and she is putting in some more work because there is another book still in creation that is going to be available very, very soon. Now, that one is called Teddy Bear Hugs. I love the name. I can go for a teddy bear hug right now. I'm going to talk to my wife later. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. Listen, people, Teddy Bear Hugs is going to be a children's narrative. And it's going to be one you're going to love adding to your shelf because your preteens, your teenagers, they're going to love that book, man, because it's going to help them through so much. Remember, still in creation, but you're going to want to check back in frequently to pick it up the moment it's available. Now, one more time, that book is called Teddy Bear Hugs, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but most importantly, MaryKathyGrayBooks.com. And before we go any further, I want to quickly take this opportunity and point out the fact that Mary was brought to People of Distinction today by one of the best publishing firms in the business. People you already know, I'm talking about Citi of Books. So if my writers out there who have gone through their process, creating their masterpiece, and now you need help moving that book you just developed, I get it. Well, listen, you got to contact Citi of Books, people, because this is exactly what they specialize in. Now, you're going to want to head on over to citiofbooks.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team, they're going to help you do just that. And listen, it is a true pleasure to have Mary here on the line with us. People, right there in the title, or I guess in the subtitle, right? Because the first one is a beautiful title, but it maybe doesn't give you exactly what it is that this narrative discusses. But meeting God in reality, ain't no beating around the bush with that one. This is going to be an informative narrative that not only is going to assist its readers through some of their tough obstacles and their toughest battles that we all experience every single day, but it's going to help you strengthen your relationship with that man above. It's going to fortify that base, and it's meant to showcase the meaning that, listen, God is real. Some of us, we carry that cross around our neck. We have it dangling from the mirror in our cars, and, we have tattoos of them. I got it. But listen, all of those things, although they're a good show of faith, that's not the man himself. He is real, and he is waiting to formulate a relationship with each and every one of us. Now, this book is going to impress that, and Mary is going to help open our eyes on how to go about doing that exact thing. I'm thoroughly looking forward to this discussion, people. This is going to be remarkably informative, but it really is going to help all of us move some mountains if we allow the book to do so. And at the end of the day, Mary is the expert, so let's bring her here with us, man. Mary, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm fantastic today. Very excited to be able to talk with you and your listeners. And I think I have some pretty exciting news in my book.
Absolutely. Well, Mary, I don't doubt it. Okay. It is a pleasure to have you here. And we knew the moment the opportunity presented itself, we understood upon just doing a little bit of research, it all opened. It busted through the door. And we were so impressed by what you had written. And we understood that our listening audience was going to be able to benefit from so much of this. So thank you for writing the book. Thank you even more for being here with us to discuss it. Before we go into the fabulous words on those pages, start off by telling us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Well, I started out as a Texas girl, and I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and I lived on a farm, my mother and dad's farm, about 15 miles south of Fort Worth at Alvarado, Texas. Mm-hmm. I graduated at Alvarado, Texas in 1967, and I married 2 months later. And at that point, my husband was from Arkansas, so we moved to Arkansas, bought a cattle farm and a commercial poultry farm, and lived and worked there with our 2 sons. And, I've always worked from age 15. I've worked, and I'm very observant of people and of my surroundings and of things going on. And that has served me well and contributed to my inspiration for the book.
Love that. Well, Mary, listen, what a great segue you've established, because the next place that I wanted to go was that inspiration. So let's go there. Now, I know inspiration can take a lot of forms. So this is going to be a multi-part question here, but talk to us about what inspired you to become a writer, what inspired this particular narrative, and everything in between. Take it away, Mary.
Well, let me tell you that in 1986, my life was not where it should have been spiritually. And I had basically a spiritual encounter with God, and shortly thereafter, I felt the call of God to write for him. And I began writing at about that time. The call of the Mourning Doves began as an inspiration I felt when I was walking into deep woods, along woodland trails and along flowing streams and mountains. I used to love to get out every day and walk these places, and I was so inspired. I could be inspired by an ant crawling on a rock. I could be inspired by flowing streams and the nature of God. And so the very forward section in the book talks about that. And through those walks, I began to talk directly to God about ordinary things affecting my life and about events and circumstances that I was seeking answers for. And then I began to journal my thoughts into books, and many of which are in the prayers of each chapter of the Call of the Mourning Doves. So the Call of the Mourning Doves as a whole book is, it gives you inspiration from many different directions in thinking about God and who he is in reality. And I was inspired by the book's title because I thought, what better title? I did some research and found out there have been other books written with that title, but I still felt that it was very valid to the information that is written inside.
Mary, thank you very much for that. And, people, listen, really quickly, before we go any further, just to make sure that you all got it, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's MaryCathyGrayBooks.com. This is a journey that you don't want to miss out on. All right, the book is called The Call of the Mourning Doves, Meeting God in Reality. As I mentioned, there is another book that is set to be released in the near future. That one is called Teddy Bear Hugs. You're going to want to pick that one up as well, because both of these are magnificent resources to add to your shelf and really great books. I'm going to say for all ages. Teddy Bear Hugs is created for children, but I'm telling you, there's going to be information found in there that even some of my adults will be able to take to the bank. All right. Now, Mary, my transition here, you started to mention your title, and I want to tackle that next because there is something about it I think is just beautiful in the imagery that it presents. But also, when you see the word morning, well, it's not written like, like the morning, like the beginning of the day. I wanna hear from you what inspired this title and why did you choose it to be the representation for your book, Mary?
Well, as witnessed in the book's preface, the reader can experience through vivid descriptions and express realizations of the same things that I encountered on my daily walks with God. I would always hear the coo of the dove in the distance, and the coo of the doves felt like an answer to my prayers, as if no matter the situation, everything was going to be all right. I literally felt that I knew God was answering my fears with "Trust me, I've got this. You are in the palm of my hand." And so no matter what problem I took to God, I would hear, I would wait to hear whatever, but I would always hear the doves in the distance. And so I knew that God was with me, and I knew that things were going to turn out all right.
Well, listen, Mary, without further ado, we've done so much aside from talking about the book. Well, now let's go into the book in much more detail. The Call of the Mourning Doves. Tell us a little bit more about this fantastic book.
Well, I think people need to understand that this is a small book that is very powerful to their lives, because when you read the different prayers, you can identify with experiences in your own life, and they only give you hope. And that's what people need right now. They need hope, and they need love. They need to know that someone loves them. And this book, through all of the writings in this book, are going to teach people that, hey, I do have a friend. I do have a father that cares about me. And so, I just believe that these prayers are writings inspired of God to help people become aware and alert of the power of intimate communion with Him. As you turn the pages, if you don't know how to pray, read a prayer. Go to the prayer that is affecting your life that day and read that prayer. Read it to God. He loves them. He wrote them. I'm just saying, I'm not being facetious. I'm just saying that, it's absolutely a positive thing in anyone's life.
Mary, my next point that I wanted to go to is offering advice. And, you just a moment ago started to go into, listen, sometimes you just got to pray. Sometimes you just got to talk to them and reach out. Well, for those of our listening audience members that are listening in right now, and they're going through their obstacle, and they're having some tough times, right? They got some dark days ahead. They're having some difficult times. And listen, that is a layered statement, because as you've mentioned and as I can attest to, man, who isn't going through some tough times right now? There seems to be pressure that is coming from all directions. So this is why your book is so important for today, but really for any day. But since we have you here on the line, talk to us about some advice that you can offer our listening audience.
Well, I think it's always good advice to tell people, get a Bible and start reading. It doesn't matter what religion you are. The Bible is one of the greatest history books in the world, and it's very interesting. And the Old Testament in particular has a lot of great stories in it that you can equate to life today. And it shows you what the problems were and how God communed with the leaders and the people to correct things that were wrong. And so, and then you move to the New Testament where God said, what I've been asking you to do isn't working. It isn't getting you repentant. So, I'm going to send my son down there, and he's going to die for you so that you can communicate with me. Mm. And so I think that's very important that people understand that the Bible is not boring. It's, just read a little every day, and pretty soon it'll start filling your heart with righteousness, and you wake up happy every day.
Absolutely. Mary, listen, your book is amazing, as I've mentioned before. And we have discussed a lot of gems here so far today. But is there a message that you're wanting people to take from your book upon conclusion?
Well, there is a message. I want people to know that God is not clay, not made of clay. He's not made of stone. He's not made of metallic. God is real. He's alive. And he can and will communicate with you if you believe him and have faith of a mustard seed to open this door and to courage to walk through it, as I suggest on page 61 in the epilogue of the Call of the Mourning Doves. So there's a lot of greatness to experience, and it will change your life. Some of the things that, other things that I would like for people to know, it's a small but powerful expression of God's love and care for each of us. And on page 63 of the book, there is a quick reference guide as to prayers written for specific needs of the day. For example, if you want help to increase your faith, it will show you a prayer for faith and where to find it in the table of contents by page number. It is a small 5x8 size that women can put in their purses or backpacks or coat pockets. So it's something you can carry around with you. Mm-hmm. I know a woman who recently lost her job of 12 years, and she's going through a lot of anxiety and trauma. And she carries the Call of the Mourning Doves with her and refers to it often. She says it brings her peace in the hours of turmoil of her life. This is what I hope for everyone who buys it, that they will feel its power to bring peace and understanding from God. And lastly, I want people to know there are no perfect prayers. He just wants us to talk to him. And the Call of the Mourning Doves is a guide to reach God on his plane of communication.
People, listen, when we began, I should have told you to not only have your notebooks ready, but I should have told you that Mary was going to be taking us back to church today because she is preaching. My goodness, this is something. People, I'm moved. I am moved. I know you are as well. This book is a call to action. This book is inspirational. This book is a movement. It's called The Call of the Mourning Doves, Meeting God in Reality by Mary Cathy Gray. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's MaryCathyGrayBooks.com. Head on over there, pick up copies of this amazing book because I promise you, as you've already witnessed, and please believe it, we've barely scratched the surface. There is a lot more. A small book, but it packs a punch. There is so much more to be offered, so much more to be gained. This is one that you need to add to your shelf. Holidays are right around the corner, so this is one you need to get as a gift to add to someone else's as well. Oh, and while you're at it, don't forget, there's another one that's set to be released very soon. Remember Teddy Bear Hugs. Yeah, you're going to add these both to your shelf, and it's going to help you move some mountains, people. I promise you that much. Head on over there, pick up your copies today. Mary, this has been a true pleasure, an absolute delight. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you so much for having me.